See, it glitches so bad, doesn't it? So it was the end of week 7, and that week we had a plan was to rehearse in some sessions. See how glitchy it is?
Yeah, no, it's bad.
It's bad, isn't it? It was to rehearse in some sessions, and also what else was we doing? Mixing. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Carry on with the mixing.
So the first session, if you weren't rehearsing, then what did you have to do? What?
No, I did my was it
Administrative.
I can't say the word.
Administrative.
Actions role. Yeah, I can't. So I did the risk assessment.
You can't speak.
Some of the words I can't say.
So the risk assessment, and what else did you do?
Well, for week 7, equipment list, and then I did another spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So I've done the 3 for week 7, basically.
It crashed.
No, it just does that. It's weird, isn't it?
So yeah, that's what I've done basically.
And how did you find those? Did you find them easy, hard? Did you think?
It was alright.
And do you think that we'll use them when it comes to the live event?
Yeah, I think it's usable.
Yeah, very useful. Okay. What did you do, Finn?
Well, I was doing rehearsing on the Monday with you.
Yeah, and you did a bit of mixing as well, didn't you?
Coming in, just giving ideas.
Giving input, yeah.
Didn't we do the mix? I did it. Was it on Wednesday?
We did some mixing as well.
Yeah, on Wednesday as well.
Yeah, a lot of the mixing was done Wednesday.
Yeah, and the Friday, I don't know.
For rehearsing.
Yeah, I did a lot of mixing. I don't remember what instruments we did because we all just put input on
drums.
Everything. I think I did something good with vocals on one of the tracks.
You did
Friday was doing bass, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did quite a lot of stuff.
Well, vocals were finished on Friday. Then it was bass. Then it was drums.
The drums were completed by the middle of the week. Megan, what did you do?
I've been mixing the rock track by myself. Yeah, and then I'd been helping you with the folk as well.
Yeah, so me and Megan took charge of the mixing for the folk track because not all of us have a good understanding of mixing, do we? We don't feel confident, so we all kind of put in with Megan taking charge of that track and putting our input in for that. But yeah, I think it went really well last week. We've got all tracks mixed. I think we just have mastering to do, don't we?
Yeah, basically.
But we're having a workshop on mastering on Wednesday, so it's next week. So it's kind of a bit of a waiting point at the moment. But now we're gonna for the next week, we've got to complete the tracks and get them all mastered, and then we're gonna DistroKid?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And get them up onto Spotify.
Because of the talk today as well, we've got
4 weeks, yeah.
Basically get it all done.
Yeah, so we have 4 weeks, but we need to get them on Spotify a bit earlier.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think we've done well. I think.
To be fair, last week a lot was done and we handled it pretty well, to be fair.
How do you think the project of a whole has gone? Each say it, so what's one thing that you'd think that we could have done better and one thing that you think that we did really well with?
One thing that we could have probably done better was maybe try and be a bit more efficient with the recording and tracking process. But
don't rush, yeah.
But we got a bit unlucky with the equipment. Mixing's been done quite well, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, too.
And, well, yeah, mastering, that's about it. No.
Yeah.
I think we should have been more specific with the roles that we were doing, because we all had something to do, but it was a bit like
we don't know whether to do it. Yeah. What do you think?
No.
Do you think I
agree with
how did you think the recording sessions went? Do you think that they did good, or do you think that we could have been better and maybe gone and set up in a time that we weren't in the session, and then we would have been able to test any of the equipment then? Or do you think that we should have, or do you think that we did this recording sessions well?
I think we've done alright, I think
it was alright, they weren't the best.
Yeah, because the equipment, like
we had
Finn said, it wasn't working and stuff, weren't it? So that probably slowed us down.
It slowed the process, and I've got the computers.
Oh yeah,
the downloading of the computers was so slow. Like it took like
an hour.
One session, it took 2 hours just to download 2 projects. So I think
then we only had an hour left, and we couldn't do much in an hour.
And that was a recording session, wasn't it? So
that's
it's
why
either
we go in
and quickly, we go in before the session and we download the stuff that we need beforehand, or or we go on to and we get them on a hard drive. I think that's the other option, isn't it?
Yeah.
But other than that, really. For next week it's just mixing and mastering, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what is it?
I'm gonna cut. I don't know.
DistroKid. You're taking charge on that, aren't you?
And then we actually get our evidence for our administrative role.
Yeah, and then I think a lot of it's then you have. Shall I get the plan up quickly just to talk about it?
Well,
here, so.
Not most of it, but quite a bit now will be pushed out to like marketing, editing.
Yeah. So for the last week, Monday session, it was rehearse, which we did do, didn't we? Yeah. And if you're not working on rehearsing, then you do your administrative role. So we stuck to the plan for Monday. Wednesday it was mixing, which was. I think we did mixing all session that session, didn't we? And for Friday, it would have been half mixing and half rehearsal, but we had a whole session of mixing instead, and it wasn't a split up, which I think maybe that's what we didn't go on track with that session. So for this week, today's mixing. For the week's 8, it'll be mixing on Monday. Wednesday, it'll be finalise all the mixing and mastering, make sure everything's up to date and everything, and then Friday, get it uploaded. I think that's the good plan for this week. It's the 21st, isn't it? Yeah, so I think that'll be the best option for next week. I think we've done really well. I don't think that there's. I think we've acknowledged our mistakes as well. Do you know what I mean? So we haven't gone. We haven't just said, do you know what? We're just gonna keep this bad recording because we ain't got time. Yeah, I think the times where we've gone. It's like you acknowledged the recording of the guitars. We tracked drums wrong, and you acknowledged that, and you was like, but we can't keep it. We need to go and do it again. So even though that took time out of our, what would you say, our plan and our sessions,
it just knocked us back a bit.
It knocked us back. It was something we didn't go and just keep it for the sake of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we've done really well in that, and I think as well everyone's done something. No one hasn't done anything because we're such a big group. I mean, you can talk about all the stuff that you've done. You can. So I think we've done good with the capacity of a big group.
Quite well versed.
Yeah. So I think that's it. Yeah.
That's sweet.